Welcome to my first video. We're playing a session, trying to play 2 tables of 200 now, 2 tables of 500 now. We're just like in some spots. It's taken us a while to like get some tables. So here we open to a whale. He's going to jam. Hopefully he doesn't have king 10. And we're just going to value jam here. Okay, here we're going to check. Let's go to the top right here. And like we went check flop, checked he calls turn and he bets the river. So here he's going to have a range of like 6x and stuff. He's also going to have like these underpair type hands. So what we really want to do is assess 5s, 4s, 3s. That's a decent part of range. It's more likely than the other combos, so I think this should be a profitable call. Yeah. It's like one of these spots where they are going to have these trips, but they just have these other hands quite often. The only problem there is if they start bluffing ace high, but usually that doesn't happen. It's this table here. I'm going to widen the range because this player is going to open wider into a recreational's blind. And yeah, this board, now because we have like a relatively wide range, our hand is like going to be mixing in theory. So yeah, but we'll bet this time. We're going to have a big concentration here of like these Broadway hands, and then just like these type of like pair hands. So like here I could play a block on this turn, or I could play a check. I'm going to play a check. There is some merit to betting as well. Now we make trips here, we definitely just have a value bet here. Our range is going to be like these a6 hands. He should be checking some strong hands here. I do think this player is good enough to find some of these strong hand checks. So I'm going to bet the river. I think I would probably want to use a size in around half pot or bigger. If I get shoved on there, it would be a pretty tough spot, but I think the value range for shoving would just be flushes. It would be a tough spot. I probably wouldn't fold to this guy, but are we a weird open size on the bottom left? We're actually going to mix our hand as a free bet. We're going to call though. We face a larger flop size, and obviously any pair to the board will always be continuing, especially with this. There's a player that's a little bit tighter. Proceed with caution. So when he uses overbet, we have to like put him on a range here, and the range here is for value. That's what I'm going to start by. We're obviously calling, but the range here for value is going to be like probably like these king queen type hands, maybe some king 4 suited sets, these sort of hands. And the bluffing range is going to be, when he bets the big, he's just going to have like absolutely loads of these type of he's going to have loads and loads and loads of these type of hands that are. Yeah, this spot, I don't really like this spot because I hit like just so many of his bluffs come in, but I'm still going to call. Yeah, I don't really like it. I'll say loads and loads of flush draws. So when the river comes in, I was thinking of folding the river there, to be honest. My kind of thought process in this spot usually though, even though he's probably not bluffing that much because of his flop size is pretty big, I actually think I should fold. Yeah. I can't rule out him having 2 pair, but I actually think I should just fold against this guy because he's a very tight player. I think that's a line you just need to fold. The king of high hand. I do believe it was a mistake to call the river. I do think the flop and the turn were like reasonable. I'm not actually against a turn raise in that spot as well. Against this type of player, because like this probably just has way too many bluffs, because when the king comes on the turn, he's really decreased his value combos to like 2 pair plus, basically, maybe pocket aces. So unless he has specifically pocket 4s, I think actually we can value raise there as an exploit to get some value from these draws, because he's probably not going to fire the river because this type of player is quite tight. So yeah, a misplayed hand by me, but it's okay. Maybe bluff river. Here we actually free bet the 6-4 suited against this guy. I think his name is One Time Please. He's a very good player. But like, we're going to widen. This is going to free bet at a low frequency. Because he's open into a recreational blind, we're going to just widen this frequency into being just we make a flush. And then just down here we have a squeeze. We squeezed pre-fish chord. We're just going to bet really small. He'll probably just jam if he has something, which he didn't. And then up here we have here from a recreational wit. Even though he can have the strong hands, we just clearly need to value raise here. He's just going to have a very wide range. There's some argument for changing our sizing up depending on what we think their range is. Like he's going to have some sets here, he's going to have like Queen X. I think arguably I should go bigger. He called relatively quickly, so he's going to have like maybe like some pair plus draw. He could have like a random ace-X of clubs hand, and sets and stuff. I'm thinking of being a little greedy and just going for like this sizing here. Just to like make sure I get called by ace-X of clubs, but like this could be very greedy. Like ace-X of clubs will probably call. If he shoves, I would be suspicious. I don't think I would fold. It wouldn't be a bluff, but the reason I wouldn't fold is because it'd be hard to rule out a worse flush, but then I don't think I'm going to get shoved on that spot that much. I don't know, you guys tell me what you think. Usually in that spot, if they shove, they just have it though, unless you have to be against a special type of recreational. Down here, we got Cockaway Whale. We decided to bet the flop big. The reason I like the big bet is we want to like start like pushing off hard equity and building the pot if we hit. And then on the turn, I'm gonna like try to pressure a 10 to fold. This is not like always the best play, but I want to like pressure a 10. And like he's gonna float here with like ace jack and stuff like that, and we really want them to fold too. Sometimes you can even get people off a king here, but like being low SPR, a fish probably just doesn't fold top pair. Now the problem here is like this guy definitely can have a flush, but like we have a second nut flush. I think boats are possible but unlikely, so we just value jam here. He obviously can have like slow play boats and stuff, but yeah. Top right here we just did a small ISO, check the flop, then we went half turn. I think he just has like a bunch of ace-X, some 10x. We just value jam against slow played ace-X here. It's never folding. And then down here we got paid by top pair, which is kind of basically what we essentially just isolated him into a spot where he just had like flush draws and top pair basically, and maybe some slow play trips, slow play play. It's very unlikely though. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why though you do want to bluff aggressively with equity versus fish, because my actual strategy there, if you locked how to play versus my strategy into a solver, his correct play is to just fold top pair on the turn, like 100% frequency. So here we open recreational, 2.5x, we bet flop. So we bet flop kind of bigger. We were trying to make him fold like these pocket pocket pairs on a bigger bet. So like he's going to have Jack X, King 10s and stuff. So it's a similar thing. Do I want to pressure the Ace X? I think if I bet this on the turn, the problem with this is I start to isolate his calling range into like stronger flush draws. And I can just check and I'm just ahead of like, this is a bit different, I'm just ahead of like Queen X and stuff. So here it's going to be a range of like 2 pair, maybe like Ace Queen, Ace King. We for sure want to raise. The problem, like I do want to shove here, like he does have like a bunch of flushes. The problem here with shoving is if we look at this guy, he seems kind of tight. I think I will shove. I am going to run into better flushes though, but I don't think this guy will let go of 2 pair or a straight. He doesn't have straights. What the heck am I talking about? Yeah, I mean, I do expect to run into flushes here. This would be a bad shove if the guy is he seems a bit tighter because he's like, I've got a note of him just checking down like 700. I isolated towards like flushes, but because he goes half on the river, it's probably, fish tend to have these size intells. They probably like, even though he could have maybe 20 combos of flushes that beat me, maybe 15, 20, because he probably doesn't put that many in that size, and maybe he puts no flushes into that size and scheme, we're probably just always good there. But like, it would be a punt if he sometimes had like a nut flush draw and you just never called 2 pair. So top right here we have the we have a guy who is I apologise on my webcam pause, by the way, it's just broken. But yeah, we have a guy who's opening. We think he is possibly like going to be too tight on the button, is our sort of read on the guy. So we changed our free bet sizing to be 10 BB instead of 12 because we're going to have like much more of a linear strategy, so we're going to be a little tighter there. I know 6s doesn't look super tight. That would usually be our strategy, and just be a bit tighter. The reason is because we expect them to just overcall the free bet a little bit, opposed to overfold. My read could be wrong on it. So top right here we called a small open from a tighter player. He uses a slightly larger flop sizing. We saw that he did this on a flush draw board on another table with like a draw, but he went like 2/3 over bet. If he uses over here, I think I actually will fold. He does use 2/3 though, which is interesting. He's a more of a tighter player. I don't think against 2/3 though I'm going to resolve myself to fold top pair. We also, theoretically we also have like some bluff catching ops, but like it really sucks to have a 9 here. We don't really have that many 8s. I do think this type of player will probably not find a huge amount of bluffs on the river in this spot. But maybe not. So I think it would be quite interesting here to jam our hand as a bluff. I will not do it because I didn't see the point. Like, yeah. I think you want him to have a king, so he folds. I had like ace king in this line, because like in this line he should really be just like playing a jam strategy here, or like a pot bet. So like this size is, it's actually very suspicious here. I think the best strategy here, like I think generally the best strategy here is to just fold. It just like it's very sus. I don't really want to have a 9 now. If I'm gonna like, if I think it's close, and I'm going to bluff catch. We have to think like his most logical bluffs that are going to be like these type of like Jack 9 hands will probably bluff pretty often. So I think this is a recreational player, so again we're going to use like a smaller sizing to 3-bet and isolate. And we're just going to play like just under half pot here. So like this spot, I do think fish will have like some weak floats, but it's a very sort of dynamic board and I don't really want to bluff with this hand. So I'm going to check and see what he does. I'm expecting like the hands that I want to have are like going to be 9s, 8s, 7s, 10s, jacks, these type of hands. So like I don't really need to tell you. And then he does this. I think we're just going to find like something strong there way too often. Obviously we have nothing, but nothing fancy in a spot like that. Just get the hell out of there. Don't waste your money getting too creative. At the bottom left here we open, got cold called by recreational and he's donked. We're going to raise. This is obviously a good hand to raise with. This hand is very interesting because like I think I could have two options. I could play bet check bet. I think I'm ahead here. I think I will check and then value bet the river even on a king or a queen. So I think he just has like a 9 here super often, hand like pocket 7, so we're just going to go for like a small bet. So this hand actually, I think you could argue for us like a bet on the turn and just checking the river. But I was wondering if this is a type of player that's gonna like bluff quite a lot. Usually in these spots, fish will just have hands. Like they'll just have like 1-bet hands when they call, just a draw. It's like if he has like these 5-4, 6-5, Ace-4, Ace-5 type hands, we're gonna wanna check and let him bluff the river. But if he has like a 9, we want to get some value from the 9. I think it actually makes more logical sense to bet, unless we know they're really, really aggressive. So I think a small mistake by me to not bet there. I'm going to take a flop with pocket 5s. I could 3-bet here. I don't think it's an SPR we really want to like make a big pot with 5s. We're just happy to call. We're going to get a squeeze, you know, decent amount, but you know, this guy's a recreational player. He's going to put too much money in with a bad hand. If we had 6s here, not 5s, this would be pretty nice for us. So, 3-betting the 8s, we will call 4-bet here. If he jams, we will fold. Flop, so in this spot, we're still going to play small with range in this spot. We're going to do this, so if I win the pot, I don't pay the jackpot fee. Normally I would just go like 20% here anyway. We hit 8s on the turn. It's actually quite an interesting spot because I think it would make sense to check here with like aces and ace queen and just bet this hand. We want to, but like, I don't mind checking. But yeah, we're just going to bet. Like, I'm going to keep it simple. It's not the most amazing run out. I do think he's going to have some hands like ace queen, not a huge amount of combos. He's going to fold jacks, so he's going to have some hands like queen jack would hit the river. He's going to have king queen, king 10 of diamonds, queen 10. He's going to have a hard time folding these hands. So we're just going to value shove here. But yeah, I sometimes going to get snapped off by a boat. And this is one of those occasions. Excuse me. That's fine though. The only question I have on that hand is if we should have checked the turn. It wouldn't have changed the outcome of the hand that much. Anyway, we're going to come to the end of our video. We're really just struggling to find tables at the moment. So yeah, we're going to end it there. I hope it was a few spots, nothing too interesting. But you know, it was fun regardless. So I wish everyone the best of luck, and I'll catch you guys next time.